Kaying do bartho anjong kajala hakasi palai kala manjur ya Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Amendment Bill arajar arpau hadian kejing tai kabalani aslam bah. Shuaban manjur ya kala don kejing ya ajingmod bat kejing kedau naki MLA jong ke Kongres kabadon hakal yang persa kentup ya ka MLA jong Shillong East ke Dr. Amprin Lingdo bat ru MLA ke Umroy ba George Lingdo. Henry haba jubab umitrang ba ulong ba ka sarkar jala kala le ya ka babhatam panyo ya ka caka ka babyang banbu ya ka entry bat exit point ha umling kaba Haribhoi district na kabanta bante la kami ka jingrung jimbi kibrio ki banabar.
Kong Amprin, you may please initiate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, as I have already proposed in the motion for amendment, sir, it is in my purview difficult for me to understand that the government of Meghalaya, in the Meghalaya Residence Safety and Security Amendment Bill 2020, deems it fit that the word family should include all of these individuals who will, I presume, be staying with that one individual that will be allowed to stay in the state of Meghalaya for over a period of 48 hours. So the purpose of the Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Amendment Bill 2020, sir, was to ensure that we keep a tab and we monitor all individuals who come into the state and who wish to remain in the state of Meghalaya for more than a period of 48 hours. Sir, as per section 4A, D, this employer could be employed under a board, a corporation, a society, or an organization or agency, partly or wholly, owned by the state government or the union government, as the case may be, and includes his/her relatives or members of family as defined under clause 1 of section 2 of the Act. ESA says professionals like medical practitioners, lawyers, chartered accountants, architects, attorneys, engineers, consultant by donor or funding agency, or any other professional including his or her relatives or members of family as defined under clause 1 of section 2 of the Act. And how is it possible that tenancy to these individuals would also be possible within one flat or one home or one space? We're going to allow so many people of one individual who's coming to the state for a correct purpose to remain in the state for 48 hours, then I would believe you would have to have multiple places of stay. Because as we know, if I go out of my state to work, I will not take my entire clan and stay in Mumbai, or will I stay in Delhi? So I need a clarity on that, and hence I propose to move this amendment for this proposed bill, sir.
So regarding amendment number 1, sir, that no doubt that this Meghalaya Resident Safety Security Act of 2016, which have been passed by the State Assembly, and also that have been referred to Select Committee, that I have for this Select Committee, which Select Committee have been met, sat, discussed, deliberate, and go in deep regarding with the importance of Meghalaya Resident Safety Security Act. So regarding with this act, no doubt that the MLAs are in one with the government. Number 2, NGOs are in one with the government, but we have some observation or that in the way that we are afraid, the main important that have already been mentioned by Honorable MLA for 16 East Shillong regarding with the family members. How one family members from outside, when he come to Shillong and walk in Shillong, he'll bring all the family members. It seems they've only mentioned here, only family members not more than 100 numbers. 100 numbers, let us 200, 300, that will increase and later it will become a one colony. At the time, they will spreading the whole of if it is whole of the state, but later they will become the permanent resident. That's why our objection regarding with this amendment regarding with the family members. So if it is it's only mentioned here that only amendment only for those who employ here, if he or she or paramilitary forces will different matter. Family members, how it can possible so the family members when all will come and stay in Shillong? It become the Shillong will become a paradise. Everybody love Shillong. Shillong it is a good place, good climate, national beauty, scenery and all will come to paradise. Everyone will like to come Shillong. But I'm afraid that again Shillong, then we have to name one new colony for them. That's why we object and request the government to omit regarding with this part.
Now I'll request Honorable Member from Umroi, Mr. George Bidungdo, to initiate discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. I also rise to support this motion of amendment to the proposed amendment of the MRSSA. I just have two concerns, sir. One, at the point of entry where the MRSSA is supposed to be activated and do the registration, how is the government planning to verify the relationship amongst the citizens once they enter? What is the mechanism that will be utilized for verification of the relationships amongst the people who claim to be family members? That's number one. And number two, sir, in the eventual rollout of the MRSSA in the areas of Shillong where we do not have headmen, how is the government planning to activate the MRSSA and institutionalize it so that whatever benefits that are to be drawn from the Act, the people will know, and the planning processes also can be streamlined. So these are the two concerns which I think maybe some clarity can be given. Thank you.
Thank you. I think no more member want to participate in this motion amendment. So may now I request the Chief Minister to reply, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. I would like to express my thankfulness to different members who have brought out different points for clarification. And I must put on record that their concerns, of course, can definitely be seen as a very, very positive concern towards this entire amendment, as well as a positive concern towards the people of our state. So having said that, I don't need to go much into the details of the bill. I think most of us are quite aware of what it is, but let me try and convince and clear some of the doubts that our honorable members had. Sir, there was a concern regarding if I could understand correctly, because as mentioned by one of the members, yes, there were some points that were mentioned that were slightly confusing, but if I would understand correctly, they expressed concern about different central government employees coming in and why their family members are being allowed to come in and why the permission is being given. Sir, I'll just to clarify some part of that. The exemptions have been there in the past in 2016 bill also. So in the 2016 bill, under section 4.1, exemptions were given to central government and state government employees. And also in the same act, as well as in the rules that were made, in the act itself in para 2I, as well as in the rules in para 2H, the words relatives or family members, meaning members of family including husband, wife, mother, father, brother, mother's brother, son, daughter, including stepson, stepdaughter, adopted son. So these were already there in the previous act also. Concern for you when your family members have to go through that pain. So that is what this is trying to address. So just wanted to make that aspect clear. And if there is any more confusion, sir, I'll be happy to clarify at a later stage. So therefore, there will be mechanisms, and I think those will be put in the rules. We'll be defining those in details. So once technology is in place, we'll easily be able to check all those aspects about relationships, because it won't be a form. The direct information will be linked to a database, and this database will just spill out the numbers and names of people who are there, and automatically there's a clash. The artificial intelligence system in the software will give us all the details. So it's going to be very much technology driven, sir. I can assure you about that. So there were also concerns about the headmans, if there are localities within Shillong or other parts, if the headmans are not there. Sir, in the rules that were defined earlier by the government in 2017, sir, it clearly mentions out here, said that the local authorities will include the Nokmas, Sordar, CM, Sirdar, Doloi, and so on and so forth. And it further mentions, sir, that and other authorities which may be notified by the government or the Deputy Commissioner of the district concerned in the official gazette as defined under clause G of the section 2 of the Residency Act. So basically the government and the concerned Deputy Commissioner will have the power under these rules to then identify if there are no headmans and the other local authorities who can be. So those definitions can be put in by the government from time to time. And so there was a last concern regarding the implementation of how long it will take. Sir, we intend to ensure that this is moved at the earliest, sir. Of course, there are rules have to be created. Now the rules have to be adjusted with this. So we're hopeful this will be implemented at the earliest, sir.